Hello friends, in today's video, we will derive the equations for the structure factors of BCC and FCC lattices. So through this lecture, I hope that you will get a more thorough understanding about the concept of structure factor. In the last class, we defined the concept of structure factor and we also defined the equation for structure factor as Sg equal to summation over j Fj into e raised to minus I g bar dot rg bar. Here g bar is the reciprocal lattice vector and rg bar is the position vector of each of the atoms in the unit cell. So g bar and rg bar, by substituting for g bar and rg bar, we finally derive the equation for structure factor as Sg equal to summation over j Fj e raised to minus I 2 pi into Hn1 plus Kn2 plus Ln3. Here g bar was given by Ha star plus Kb star plus Lc star and Rj bar, the position vector of each of the atoms in the real lattice, is given by N1a bar plus N2b bar plus N3c bar. So H, K and L are the integers corresponding to the reciprocal lattice vector and they are called the Miller indices. N1, N2 and N3 are the integers corresponding to the position vector of the atoms in the real lattice. Now let us move on and derive the equation of the structure factor of a BCC lattice. We know in the BCC basis, identical atoms are present at the corners given by the position vector of which is given by N1 equal to N2 equal to N3 equal to 0. That means the atom is present at the corner which is considered as the origin. What is the position vector of the origin? It is 0a bar plus 0b bar plus 0c star. 0, 0, 0 are the coordinates and so N1, N2 and N3 are 0. Then in the BCC basis, the next atom is present at the body center. So if we choose the total distance as 1 between the two atoms, then what are the coordinates of the body center? You have to move 1 by 2 along the x-axis, 1 by 2 half length along the y-axis and half length along the z-axis to reach the body center. So the second atom in the basis is present at N1 equal to N2 equal to N3 equal to 1 by 2. So the BCC atom has only 2 particles, right? There are 1 by 8 particles at the corners and 1 full atom at the center. So I am assuming that the BCC basis is consisting of 1 atom at this corner and the second atom at the body center. So the BCC has only 2 atoms and those atoms, the positions of the 2 atoms are chosen like this. 1 atom at the origin and the other atom at the position of the body center. So these are the positions of the 2 atoms of the BCC lattice, the BCC basis. Now let us calculate the structure factor with this concept. So we have Sg equal to summation over j Fj into e raised to minus I Hn1 plus Kn2 plus Ln3. So we have 2 sets of N1 into N3 values for different j values. So let us substitute that. First value is F into e raised to minus I H into 0 plus K into 0 plus L into 0. Then plus f into e raised to minus I h into 1 by 2. Here is a 2 pi, I missed that. Minus I into 2 pi. Here again is a 2 pi here. Here 2 pi. H into 1 by 2 plus L into 1 by 2 plus k into 1 by 2 plus L into 1 by 2. So this is the summation. We have two RJs, two atoms, one at 0, 0, 0 coordinate and the other at 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 coordinate. So summation over J means we have to sum both the factors. The first factor corresponding to the atom at the corner at 0, 0, 0 position and the second atom at the body center, which is the 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 position. So summing these two factors, we will get f into, here we have e raised to 0. The value of e raised to 0 is 1 plus we have a cancellation of 2 here in the numerator and as well as in all the denominators we have 2. They will cancel out. So the remaining term is e raised to minus I pi into h plus k plus L. So this is the structure factor corresponding to the BCC lattice. Now let us think about this value, this equation. Structure factor Sg equal to f into 1 plus e raised to minus I pi h plus k plus L. So this structure factor will have different values depending on the value of h plus k plus L. Suppose h plus k plus L is an even integer. Then we will have e raised to minus I pi into an even number. Now for your information, I will teach you one equation. E raised to I pi into an even number plus or minus I pi into an even number is 1. E raised to plus or minus I pi into an odd number is minus 1. This is because e raised to I pi is cos pi plus I sin pi, right? So you can substitute and verify that e raised to I pi into even number is always plus 1 and e raised to I pi plus or minus I pi into an odd number is always minus 1. So using this equation, we can analyze the equation for the structure factor. Here when h plus k plus L is an even number, we will have this exponential term as plus 1. So we can show that whenever h plus k plus L is even number, we have Sg equal to 2f. And whenever h plus k plus L equal to an odd number, we have the structure factor Sg equal to 0, because here this term e raised to minus I pi h plus k plus L, if h plus k plus L is odd number, then e raised to minus I pi into an odd number will be minus 1. It will cancel with this 1 value and the structure factor will be 0. So what we have got here, the structure factor will be maximum if h plus k plus L is even number, and the structure factor will be 0 if h plus k plus L is odd number. And we know these h, k, L values, the Miller indices, actually correspond to different planes. They also correspond to the reciprocal lattice vectors and they correspond to different planes in the crystal, in the real lattice. So suppose we have, let us consider different planes in the BCC lattice. There are plenty of planes like 1, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 plane or 2, 2, 1 plane, etc. But in a BCC lattice, the diffraction intensity that you get from these planes are 0, because the structure factor corresponding to these planes are 0 actually. Why? Because h plus k plus L for these planes are 0. H is 1, K is 0, L is 0. That means the structure factor is 0 as proved in earlier situation. While indicating planes, you have to put these numbers in these brackets. So for 300, you can see that it is actually an odd number. H plus K plus L is an odd number, and hence according to our conclusion we have 0 as structure factor. And structure factor becoming 0 means the scattered amplitude will be 0, and if scattered amplitude is 0, the intensity of diffraction will be 0, because intensity of diffraction is proportional to the amplitude square, the scattered amplitude square. So even when all these planes exist in BCC lattice, the diffraction intensity that you get from these planes are 0 due to this structure factor. But if you consider other sets of planes within this BCC lattice, such as 200 plane or 110 plane, for all these planes the structure factor is actually 2f, which is maximum value. So for these planes you will have maximum intensity. So what happens when H plus K plus L value is odd? Even when all those planes exist in the crystal, we will not get a diffraction beam corresponding to those crystals, those planes. This is because the alignment of planes is in such a way that the diffracted beam from one plane is cancelled by the next plane in this case. For example, for the 100 plane, we have the 100 planes like this, and for the BCC lattice, the next layer of atoms comes here, and following that we have the another layer. So the scattered beam from the first layer will be like this, and the scattered ray from the second layer will be like this. So these rays will be exactly out of phase and will cancel out. This will be exactly in a phase difference of pi. So all I need to mention is that if H plus K plus L is odd number, then the structure factor will be 0 for a BCC lattice, and hence you will not get any diffraction beam corresponding to these planes. And if H plus K plus L is an even number, then for those planes in a BCC lattice, your diffraction intensity will be maximum, or scattered amplitude will be maximum. So that is the concept of structure factor. This is how effectively the structure affects the diffraction intensity. Even when the planes are scattering the beams, the overall structure is affecting the amplitude of the scattered wave. Now let us move on to the example of FCC lattice. How many atoms does an FCC lattice have? An FCC lattice has 4 atoms per unit cell. Let us assume that these atoms are present at the corner, then first phase center, then at the bottom phase center here, then at the face corresponding to the next plane. So the corner one and the 3 adjoint faces, at the centers of 3 adjoint faces we have 3 atoms. So totally there are 4 atoms per in the FCC basis. So what are the position coordinates of these atoms? For the first corner atom, N1 equal to N2 equal to N3 equal to 0 because it is the origin. For the second atom, you have to move half length along the x-axis and half length along the y-axis. Since it is at the face center, you need not move half length along the z-axis. If it was in the body center, you have to move half along all directions, half along x, half along y and half along z. That way you will reach the body center. But to reach a face center, you have to choose only 2 paths. We have N1 equal to N2 equal to 1 by 2 and N3 equal to 0 for the first atom at the face center. Then for the next atom, you have to move along the z-axis half, along the y-axis half, and not along the x-axis. So n1 equal to 0 and n2 and n3 are equal to 1 by 2. And n1 and n3 equal to 1 by 2 and n2 equal to 0. So these are the position coordinates of the atoms present in the basis of an FCC lattice. You can remember like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 0, 1 by 2, and 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 0. These are the position coordinates. Now substituting these values of different n1, n2 and n3 into the equation of structure factor, we will get structure factor Sg equal to summation over j over different Rj's. We have 4 Rj here, 4 number of atoms are present. So 4 sets of values are here. So summation over j, first we have e raised to minus I fj into e raised to minus I 2 pi into hn1 plus kn2 plus ln3. First n1, n2 and n3 are 0. Then plus f into e raised to minus I 2 pi into h into 1 by 2 plus k into 1 by 2 plus l into 0. So for the next set we chose 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 0. Then for the next set e raised to minus I 2 pi into h into 1 by 2 plus k into 0 plus l into 1 by 2. So for the next set we chose n1, n2, n3 values as 1 by 2, 0, 1 by 2 plus f into e raised to minus I 2 pi into h into 0 plus k into 1 by 2 plus l into 1 by 2. So this is the effective structure factor. So you can see the 2 will cancel out in all the terms, and finally you will have Sg equal to f into, the first term is e raised to 0, which is simply 1, plus in the second term you have e raised to minus I pi into, here the 2 will cancel, these 2's will cancel, into h plus k. Similarly, e raised to minus I pi into h plus l plus e raised to minus I pi into k plus l. So 4 factors are there. First factor is 1. Then we have 3 different factors with these terms. So when will these terms be a maximum? When all these terms are 1, we will get a 4f value for structure factor. When will that happen? When all these combinations of h, k and l are even numbers. When h plus k is even, h plus l is even and k plus l are even, all these are even numbers, full terms will be 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 and the structure factor will be 4f. Sg will be 4f. So when will that happen? If all the factors h and k and l, if h, k and l are all even numbers, then these terms e raised to minus I pi into even number plus an even number is even number. So all these terms will be even and you will get a maximum structure factor. And the same situation will hold if h, k and l are all odd numbers, right? Because an odd number plus an odd number is also an even number. So then h plus k will be even, h plus l will be even, k plus l will be even. So when h, k and l are all odd numbers and all even numbers, we have the maximum structure factor Sg equal to 4f. But what will happen if any of the numbers are not odd, or if these numbers are mixedly odd and even? Suppose if h and k are even and l is odd, then what will be the first term? E raised to minus I pi h plus k. H plus k will be even because h and k are even. So this term will be equal to 1. Now h is even and L is odd. That means h plus L is odd. Then e raised to minus I pi into odd number will be minus 1. And similarly k is even and L is odd, and hence this number will be again minus 1. So effectively what will happen here? We have f into 1 plus 1 minus 1 minus 1. So structure factor Sg will be 0 in this case. Similarly, if two numbers are odd and one number is even, you can verify that the structure factor will be 0 itself. So if h, k and L are mixedly even and odd, if only one of the integer is even and two are odd, or if two is even and one is odd, then the structure factor will be 0. So for example, KCl and KBr, those crystals have this FCC structure, and the planes corresponding to these combinations of lattices, these combinations does not give any diffraction intensity. So structure factor will be 0 if H, K and L are partly odd and partly even. So you can see that in an FCC lattice, if you have a plane like 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, will it give any diffraction intensity, diffraction beam? It will not, because it is partly odd and partly even. But if the plane is 1, 1, 1 in an FCC lattice, all those kinds of planes will give you a bright intensity, bright diffraction pattern. So simply by seeing these numbers, you can verify whether they will give any diffraction pattern in the FCC lattice. If these kinds of planes exist in FCC lattice, then you will surely get the result accordingly. So what does this mean? This actually means that the structure affects the diffraction intensity. Even when the atoms are contributing, atoms are scattering, different planes are scattering the incident beam, effectively the whole structure is aligning in such a way that the net contribution is getting maximized or becoming 0. So this is the concept of structure factor. So we have calculated the structure factor for a BCC lattice, and we have obtained the conditions for the maximum brightness and minimum brightness. So effectively the structure can contribute to the overall intensity of diffraction or the amplitude of the scattered wave. Intensity and amplitude are related. And then we calculated the structure factor for the FCC lattice and found that how it can affect the diffraction from different planes. What all diffraction patterns will be present at the output end. So I hope you understood today's lecture. Thank you.